where you are right now in life is exactly where you're supposed to be. Whether it's a high season, whether it's a low, whether it's happy, success, joy, whether it's be sorrow, sadness, brokenness, wherever it is, where you are right now on this journey in life is where you are exactly supposed to be. How do you know that, Colin? It's because if you're in the lows right now, if you're in the valleys, you're learning a lesson. Life is putting you through a test that you will learn a significant lesson that will help you long term in the future. And if you're on a peak right now, you're at a high right now, you're at a success right now, it's probably because of something you learned in an earlier valley in life. But where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. You know, when I moved down to Houston, Texas, I had my family come down and help me move down, and when they left, I was sitting there that same night, and I thought to myself, why was I put here? What was the reasoning for me to come down here? Other than the job, but like real life, like what was the draw to Houston, Texas? I could have went to other places. Why Houston, Texas? And I don't know why. But every night I wonder why, and I ask why. I ask God, why was I put here? Show me why I was put here. And I just know and I believe and I know it's true that where I am right now in Houston, Texas is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Whether it be because I'm living by myself and I'm being able to work more with my podcast and my YouTube channel, I can read more, I can focus on myself and get myself right so I can help others. I don't know why I was put here, but I truly believe that the reason why I'm here, where I am right now, is exactly where I'm supposed to be on this journey in life. When you're in it, you don't know why. But when I look back 5, 10, maybe even 1 year from now, whenever I look back on this time in my life, I will see why I was put here. And I just want you to know that whatever you're going through, whether it be good or bad, and the bad ones are hard, I know they are. We've all been through them. I spent 4 years at the University of Kansas playing college football. 4 years. I didn't play until 4 games left in the season of my last season. I know the hardships. I know the struggle. Not getting what you want. But I knew that 4 years, looking back, built me to who I was when the time came when my number was called. And I'm grateful. Even though when you're in the situation, you're like, man, why me? Why me? But where I was then is exactly where I was supposed to be then. Where I am now is exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Where I will be 5, 10, 15 years from now is exactly where I was supposed to be 5, 10, 15 years from now. Whatever situation you're in, the bads, you will get through it. Whatever situation, the goods, sadly, they will end. But I promise you that if you believe and you stay true to the truth that where you are supposed to be right now is where you're supposed to be right now, I promise you that everything in the end will work out the way it was supposed to work out. I'm doing this episode right now with my eyes closed. I'm speaking from the heart. I don't have a script. The last few episodes I haven't had a script. I've just been talking, putting my heart into this microphone so that you, the listener, can get what I truly want to say, unscripted. But I truly believe that at the end of the day, when you look back, when you're on your deathbed, and you look back on this journey, this crazy journey of life, that you can say, and I hope this is true, that you can say, when I was in that time 30, 40, 50 years ago, I didn't know why I was there. But now I know why I was there. I was exactly where I was supposed to be at the time that I was. When I'm on my deathbed, whenever that is, I know that I look back on this time in Houston, Texas, whether I'm here for 6 months or 6 years or 60 years, I can say, I know why I was there. When I'm in it right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know why. I mean, I have my job, but I'm saying I don't know why on this journey of life, why I'm in Houston, Texas. But when I'm on my deathbed, I'll be able to look back here and say, I was grateful, and I still am. I am today, but I will say I was grateful for the time I spent in Houston, Texas, because it made me, or it taught me a lesson that I implemented in my life so many years from now. What I'm learning right now in Houston, Texas, I will implement the lessons I'm learning in the future. Why? Because where I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Where you are right now, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are right now in this season of life is exactly where you're supposed to be. And it may be tough. Colin, I'm in a bad season. You're learning something. Colin, I'm in a good season. I don't want this to end. It will end. At the end of the day, you must be grateful that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. The lows, you're learning. The highs, you're probably coming off a low and you learn something and you use that to get to that high. But I promise you, and I keep saying this, but it's the title of the episode and it's so true. Where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. You won't know it now. You might not know it 5 years from now. But when you look back on your life, you'll be able to say, I know why I was there. I know the lessons I learned in that low. I know that high got me to where I was because of lessons I learned before that. You don't know the answers to the test of life. No one knows the answers to the test of life. But when you learn something from where you are and you learn something, you can use that in the future tests. So I promise you, I don't like to make promises, that I promise you that where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be, good or bad. Where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you so much for listening this week. Like I said, I closed my eyes, I poured my heart into this topic. I just spoke from the heart. Because it's true. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. The good and the bads. I promise. I promise. The goods will come to an end, the bads will come to an end. But where you are right now, on this journey in life, is exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for letting me just speak into your mind each week, speak into your presence each week.